What's up, everybody? This is Pain User.
And this is Cat's Pajamas.
And we have game 2 between FXOqxc and the currently clanless Zelniq.
Yes.
I don't want to say...
I don't think he signed with a new team yet, so...
You
would know better than me.
Sworn he joined the same team as Og, which was... They sent Og to MLG. And he was representing
the one who used to
team.
be the Rec team, the one who used to be Requiem Esports, and then yeah. Can't think of him. Sorry, guys, if you guys are listening, I apologize. Send us an email.
And QXC as our purple Terran in the bottom position. The map is Metalopolis. QXC is currently up 1-0 over Zelniq with a very convincing win on the first map.
And really, things he did, but,
And up on the north side of the map, we have Zelniq as our yellow Zerg. But anyway, back to what you were saying.
Obviously he did very good things. He secured himself the win. A lot of it was just mistakes that Zelniq was making too. I mean, he was just throwing units away. It wasn't even like I'm going to make kind of a concerted all-in and gather my forces and send them in, let the Zerglings buffer the damage and just kill with my roaches. No, it was just like, here's 6 lings, here's 10 lings, just eat them up.
Yeah, if we could... if we could go over that last game, check the units lost tab. But if there was a way to check the units lost for free tab, which would be an interesting unit stat. Yeah. That would be really interesting, actually. But literally, units lost for free. I'm talking almost 0 damage, maybe 1 to 2 Zergling swipes against an entire pack of, Marines, tanks, at a bunch of different points in the game where he just lost several lings. I mean, added all together, it had to be upwards of 30 or 40.
Absolutely.
And that's never good.
So QXC going through the same 2 racks opening, both on 12 again, same time.
Interesting that he's actually doing that on this map.
Especially because you can't spawn close positions by ground, and it's not like he's going to be able to bunker the bottom of the ramp or anything like that. There is a supply depot in place, neutral supply depot, so we can't actually raise that. So, yeah, he's going to keep trying this, and honestly, the way Zelniq played game 1, I think that QXC honestly has a possibility of getting in here and maybe not doing as much overt damage as he did last time, getting bunker in place, things like that, but maybe just causing Zelniq to way overcommit to units because he's already kind of a little bit shaken.
Yeah, Zelniq actually why would you run by that SCV in your base? And there is a second SCV on the way. QXC rallying Marines. Gonna try and deal with this, but Zelniq opening the exact same way as last game, obviously very cautious of some sort of 2 racks pressure build, getting those early lings out, producing an additional 2 lings here, and it's really interesting given what he's scouted so far, that he's committing this much to lings, but already falling a little bit behind in supply. He was down 24-20, and it looks like he's going to try and take out these first few Marines here. I'm not sure what QXC's objective is right now. Maybe it is to kill the natural altogether, but I think Zelniq is going to has more than enough to hold this off. I don't know why he pulled those Zerglings back on the SCV right there. That was a huge micro mistake, and it looks like QXC is going to be able to establish a position at the bottom of the ramp here, putting up 2 bunkers, a 3rd bunker, might even try and put up... Ooh, I like the quick cancels by QXC right there. Just throwing up all those bunkers so quickly. And now he has a little choke here at the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah, forces everything through the choke right there. Going back to that micro mistake you were talking about, Zelniq only managed to kill 1 Marine for the loss of about 6 or 7 Zerglings right there. And he is forced to just produce Zerglings over and over and over again during this whole process. The QXC just cancels, loses a couple of Marines, wasn't rallying anything else up. This, I was going to say, if he actually gets those up there, it would feign towards more pressure. But Zelniq, he's already down by 6 workers. He's already down by 6 workers. He is establishing his next base, but so is QXC. QXC has a definite economic advantage, putting down his 3rd racks now. And once again, he is in a magnificent position already. Looks like Zelniq may be queuing up a big Baneling bust.
I mean, Zelniq had the perfect opener to deal with that. He had the 4 lings, and then he blindly produced the additional 2 based on the scouting information he was gathering in QXC's base with the drone that he had for quite some time. He saw the 2 racks. He saw that everything was rallied to his base. Pulling back 4 of those lings to deal with a single SCV that wasn't doing anything. It's not like that SCV was putting up a bunker. It's not like, he was just hanging out. doing what SCVs do, which is apparently constantly smoke cigarettes. They always have them in their little picture, Brood War, all that stuff. So that's what he was doing. He was just taking a little time out, smoking a cigarette, and QXC just coming in here with 2 Marines, gonna get a full scout maybe. Looks like he is gonna get a full scout indeed on Zelniq's base. Gonna see the lair timing. There is no lair. Might even go, oh, he sees the Baneling nest as well. Kills a drone. Oh, so he knows that this Baneling bust is coming now, or he must have a hunch. If we take a look at the top of his ramp, it looks like he's pretty well established to deal with this, and building the bunker as a response to that scouting information, building 2 bunkers as a response, and this is not going to go well for Zelniq.
No, not at all. He's going to lose probably 3 or 4 of those Banelings as they make their way up just because of positioning, and QXC could actually retreat a couple of units back into the bunker as well when the time comes. Looks like Zelniq is just waiting to get more units out there. We do have the Tech Lab factory coming down, so siege tanks will be there eventually, but won't be quite in time to receive a bust that I kind of thought was going to happen, but apparently Zelniq just pulling back to this ramp, pulling away farther now for the time being, and the more he just commits to units, now supply capped, the more he just commits to units and doesn't try to do any economic damage, the farther QXC is going to get ahead, the better tech he's going to have. This is not a good place for Zelniq to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to commit to this either, so it's kind of like, you know, he's invested all of this into the Baneling bust. It is kind of smart what Zelniq is doing right now. He's not revealing his entire hand. You know, he's just flashing 1 card at the natural right now. He still has the majority of the Banelings and a few Zerglings at QXC's 3rd, and he is preventing QXC from taking his natural for quite some time. I feel like a really good follow-up to this would be perhaps taking his 3rd. Oh, and QXC playing it real smart, just taking it nice and slow, keeping Marines on the high ground, using a small squad of Marines to bait whatever he can out there. And Zelniq not really looking to commit here. He probably doesn't want to waste too many of these Banelings or the Lings on the... Oh, and it looks like he is going to surround that pack of Marines down there. Only a few Marines firing from the high ground. Going to be able to kill all of that. And he is going to delay this natural for quite a while. I would love to see him take a 3rd right now, or, you know, a few minutes ago even. Oh, and now the Hellions come out. They're going to be able to just absolutely cut through all of this. You know, killing these Marines, very inconsequential at this point in the game, not a big deal, and I feel like QXC coming out way ahead here. Yeah,
he would have been way better served just sitting there and containing this natural for a lot longer and just keeping QXC contained to his base, but he doesn't. QXC comes in with a bunch of SCVs, transferring those over, has a couple of bunkers going into play, gonna move out with a huge
and oh my god,
group.
We just missed it, but 32 Lings followed by 6 Lings queued up, again with the Roach Ling all-in follow-up that... You know, I don't know.
That is perfect. That, as eloquent as that just was, that describes it perfectly, because look, nothing going to be here to defend. QXC is going to destroy the rest of the economy. Blue Flame Hellions that's death and destruction.
Here comes the all-in at the natural. It looks like he's actually waiting for a little bit. I don't know what exactly he's waiting for. There's virtually nothing here to defend. This is going to turn into essentially a base race type situation here. And, you know, QXC doesn't really have anything to deal with these roaches, but I feel like once he gets rid of a majority of these Lings, you know, he will be able to clean those roaches up, and Zelniq working off of very few drones here. It's really going to come down to these. Oh, and the Hellions are getting picked off in the middle of the map, actually killing a bunch of Zerglings. And once he cleans up these Zerglings with the Hellions, I think all he needs is a tank or 2, and then he'll be absolutely okay from these roaches.
Yep, he has 2 tanks just about to pop up right now, and with repair, those are going to be more than fine. Looks like a couple of Zerglings going down. They're not really going to do any damage to the tank whatsoever. Here come the SCVs to repair. Tank is going to go back up in health. There it is. There's a few roaches left, but as soon as Zelniq makes his way in here, yep, QXC just pulling back now with the mass repair. He is taking out a number of the roaches. Roaches going down, and
you know,
QXC
actually has very few harvesters here. He's down to what, 4?
I believe 3.
He's down to 3 to 11. So this is going to be a huge. Well, actually, you know, that really worked out for Zelniq a lot better than I thought it would have. Yep. One of the reasons being is that QXC committed to so many Blue Flame Hellions. He really had no defensive infrastructure back at his base. He didn't have a single tank. Just had a handful of Marines, 2 bunkers, one of which was empty. So by committing to those 10 Hellions and going around the bottom of the map, they essentially just missed each other. And I think...
But Zelniq has not made a single worker.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what's going on. He should be trying to macro out of this.
He's still all-inning. I mean, he is He took QXC down to 0 or 3 workers.
4 meals at the natural too.
Yeah, he had enough energy for almost 6. There we go. There's going to be 5 and 6 coming down here in just a second. And siege mode is done. That's going to push back the rest of those forces. Tank drop into the main, and all these units are just rallying past, and these tanks are doing whatever damage they want. That's
very nice.
Zelniq down to 5. Ugh.
Oh, no.
And there's GG.
Well, that was at least an entertaining game, definitely.
Oh, yeah, it was.
At the very
definitely.
least. I like the double tank drop action by QXC right there at the end, just to do a little bit of extra damage. Don't know if I agree with the all-in there, necessarily. I mean, it did work, but it only worked because QXC was doing a specific build. He was going all Hellion, and when you get into a base race situation, what would you rather have, 8 Hellions or, 35 Lings and 8 Roaches? Obviously, the Lings and the Roaches are going to do a better job at trading.
Exactly. Now, going back to what we were talking about before, the Roach Warren in and of itself was not a bad idea. We just had a good example of Marines into Blue Flame Hellions where Roaches do a pretty good job. But why? I mean, it even worked, and then he had QXC down to 3 workers and didn't produce any workers after that.
Yeah, he continued to try with the all-in. I don't know if I agree with that at all, because at the end there, the way he was able to hold off the all-in at the end, I mean, he just had more than enough to deal with any kind of reinforcements that you would be able to rally in, especially when you're working off of, 13 drones? Yeah. I mean, he just didn't have enough drones to support the kind of reinforcements that were necessary to kill him at that point. So
absolutely.
QXC going to go ahead and take this down 2-zip. Well played to QXC. Not Zelniq's 2 best games. He's an outstanding player. A lot of, small mistakes. And after a first game like that, where you accidentally detonate all your Banelings, you've got to be on tilt.
Yep.
And, the kind of the tilt mode all in going right there. We've seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
Saw it quite a bit from Idra at MLG this weekend.
Killzone Command Center wins the game.
Oh, you mean MMA game? Yeah. Well, see, it's the things that you don't know that can hurt you.
Yes.
In StarCraft. That's a good saying for GGing too early. It's things that you don't know that can hurt you. Anyway, QXC taking it at 2-0. Hope you guys enjoyed those casts. If you did, be sure and check me out at twitter.com/painuser.
And you can find me at twitter.com/catspajamassc2. Don't forget to check out the IGN Pro League as IGN Pro League on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also find them at www.ign.com/IPL.
Thanks a lot, guys, and stay tuned.